I think, and the City Council thinks this is a very important issue, but also you do too, and that's why you're here tonight. I believe parks are vital to Wildomar City. They're vital for our community. We love the hometown feel that Wildomar has, and having this park and our other parks is part of the way we have that happen. We have so many community events here. You see football here tonight. We've had our birthday celebration here. That's what brings us together. That's what binds us together, and that's what happens at a park. Tonight we also have Paul Thompson. He's from Webb and Associates. He's here in the back. That was the company that the County of Riverside hired to do the assessment for parks. What I want to make perfectly clear so that everyone understands, when the County of Riverside hired Webb and Associates to do the assessment and we voted, you voted on parks, that assessment was legal. No ifs, ands, or buts. The assessment that we all voted on was legal. Right after that, a Wildomar resident challenged that assessment. He lost. Then other people, not Wildomar, just other people, filed other lawsuits. Those subsequent lawsuits tweaked the law, changed the law a little bit, which enabled the Wildomar resident to then appeal, and appeal now with those little changes that made a technicality, made a loophole. When the resident appealed in late 2009, he appealed to the County of Riverside, because not us, because he was to the county because we voted with the county. The County of Riverside actually didn't even notice the city. We didn't even know that there was an appeal going on until January 5th, 2010. And the notice that our attorney Julie Biggs received was that the next day, January 6, 2010, was a parks hearing. The city of Wildomar had a one-day notice that this appeal had been filed and that the hearing was the next day. So Mayor Pro Tem Swanson, Paula Willette, and I went down to the hearing in Riverside. It was 3 appeal judges, and the Wildomar resident was there. Total of 3 Wildomar residents were there, and then Marsha, Paula, and I were there. The appeal judges heard the county side, they heard the lawsuit side, but even one of the appeal judges said, this is a Grinch case, and he used that word. He said, this is a Grinch case. The county spent millions, $7 million to rehab this park and the other 2 parks, and all we had to pay was $28 a year. So at that time, when the 3 of us left, we kind of felt like it was going to be positive that the county was going to win the appeal. But then around May, and I'll get into the timeline too, we found out that we weren't not going to get the appeal. But I just want to make sure you understand, when all of us voted in 2006, that was a legal assessment. Okay, we're going to start the PowerPoint presentation and the timeline. So in 1996, the residents vote no to a $25 assessment and dissolved Ortega Trails Parks Recreation District. Many of you here have lived here so long, you know the Ortega Trails saga. Then in 1999, the parks closed. 2000, the Parks Formation Committee formed. Several people here tonight were on that committee. John Lloyd, Kristen Lloyd, George Cambero, Paula Willette, Susan Lane, many people we here have worked on that committee and spent 7 years of their life, their family's life, getting the parks back. In 2006, we voted. 55.7% of the voters said yes to the new assessment fee of $28. And then immediately the resident filed. He lost, but then he appealed in that 2010, and then that's where we are today, just on September 20th. So the county had petitioned the appeal to the Supreme Court. On September 20th, 2010, the Supreme Court denied it, and that's why we're here today. Will any of the council members like to add some comments?
The only thing I want to say is that the court denied hearing it. They didn't necessarily agree, they just denied hearing it.
Can we appeal it?
Well, I think it's important that we think ahead, not just to this park, but to other parks that we don't yet have. Somehow we need to be able to fund these parks, so hopefully we come up with some ideas tonight.
I would agree with what Bob said. This assessment, if we want to hear from the community, and I think we have a great turnout here tonight, and I thank you all for coming. But if we do another assessment, it isn't just about keeping the parks we have open now. We have property on the other side of the freeway, 23 acres, that we would like to see a future park at. Part natural park, part sports park. So if we go forward with this assessment and we're out there educating the community, don't forget that the maintenance of a future park is at stake here too, a park yet to be.
I'll just add that thank you very much for showing up this evening. You know, this is so important for so many different reasons. You know, one, it's quality of life, but it's also economic development for a young community, you know, that's trying to put themselves on the map. You know, if we want commercial development, restaurants, the nice things that come with being a city, we got to attract developers, and developers won't come if we don't have parks. So it's important for our children, it's important for our quality of life, it's also important for our economic development. Thank you for coming out tonight. I'm anxious to hear some great ideas.
Thank you. Those were all very good comments.